This is the Goode Show. My name's Surinder and I'm a military spouse. I've been a military spouse for over 26 years and my guy served 30 years as a Navy SEAL and retired as a Command Master Chief. Now, I've heard a few stories and I've told a few stories and now I am sharing stories. Sit back, relax, grab a beer, grab a coffee and enjoy. Check us out on social media at The Goode Show. Welcome to this week's episode. My name's Surinder. I'm your host and you are listening to The Goode Show. Now, a couple of days ago, remember I said we were going to have Andrew Davenport on the show, and lo and behold, here you are, my friend.
Ta-da.
Ta-da! It is good to see you again.
So great to see you again.
You look great. You look very refreshed and relaxed from your Austin trip.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Oh. Listen, you don't have to go military on me, okay? Just call me Surinder. Although, as an expat, I do like, I'm not offended by that term. And sometimes I know some of my American counterparts have been like, oh, well, don't call me ma'am, So, but I don't mind, but Surinder's good too.
I appreciate it, but I have to give credit to my parents. My mom and dad ensured we respected everyone, regardless of age. Yeah. And we said, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir.
And something, Andrew, I think that I do the same thing with my kids, but I'm telling you as an adult, okay? But I love it, yes. And kudos to you, Mom and Dad.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you, were either of your parents in the service?
They were not.
Okay.
No, my grandparents were, but my parents were not in the service.
Now, you joined the service, the Army.
Yes, ma'am.
What made you gravitate towards joining the military?
So we grew up in poverty. I didn't realize it at the time. But looking back on it, there were little hints and nods. So I had two younger brothers that were coming behind me, and my parents worked, but we might have made $30,000 a year as a family. And to raise three boys, all those things, I went to a really decent school, but it was also troubled. So back in early 2000s, I was going to schools with metal detectors in them. So I don't feel like I was properly equipped or educated to maintain a scholarship. And I felt if I was in the military, I probably could squeak by with a C if need be.
Oh, wow. Now, where rural? Tell me where you grew up.
So, born outside of New Orleans, Louisiana, finished high school in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
And after that, went on to college at the University of North Georgia. It was formerly known as North Georgia College and State University.
Okay, and then you went to the Army. Before you went and signed on the dotted line, did you have any idea of what lay ahead? Was there any, apart from the fact that you wanted your education, did you have any other idea about the Army?
I knew that it was possible that we could be in war because I graduated in 2002. That's when I signed up to join.
Yep.
September 11th had just happened. I mean, no one would have known we'd still be in that war for so long, but there was a good possibility and I was okay with it.
Okay. And now, how long ago did you leave the Army?
I was out in 2010. 2010.
Now, from 2010 to today, you have really gone back and given to the veteran community. And I've always said, service members continue to serve. It's inherent, So you have gone back to serving veterans, active duty, and you are now leading a new business altogether.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, so I'm the founder and I call it Battle Buddy for the organization called A New Veteran.
Okay.
And the goal behind the name was let's allow the veterans to define what it means to be a veteran. Let's help the public to understand that it's more than just the old white guy who is the veteran. It is the young white guy. It is the woman. It is the person of color. Like, there's so many more veterans out there, but to the general public, if you say the word veteran, you just think of the old white guy. Not disrespecting their service, but it's a lot more inclusive than just that person. Is
this something that's born out of experience, do you feel?
Very much so.
Okay.
Very much. Again, being a younger guy, going to Iraq, coming home, gaining some weight, no one looks at me as, oh, this guy could be a veteran. So when there's opportunities or there's invites or things about military discounts, no one's running to me to say, hey, do you qualify? It's assumed that I didn't serve or something like that.
I'm going to tell you, from a spouse perspective, I had a conversation the other day, and we don't walk around with it written on our forehead. Do you know what I mean?
Correct.
You don't know who you are standing with. So again, to your point, I totally understand that from experience, from my own personal experience. So going back to your organization, from personal experience, you have an idea.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you go with that idea?
You bounce it around a little bit. You talk to a friend or two. You're lucky to have some social capital. So you got people with fancy titles that you think are really just going to be over the moon and say, this is the best idea ever, and they're going to support you. And you come to terms that people will smile and say yes, but when it's time to finance that idea, when it's time to support that idea, their idea of support is quite different than what you're needing at that time.
How did you know, though, Andrew, that, okay, you have an idea, this is what you want to do, a new veteran. So how do you get from the idea, what's your next step? If somebody out there is listening and wants to put something together, you've had the idea, what is your next step?
So my next step is to mentally prepare that
Okay.
people are going to say, we have enough nonprofits. Why don't you go partner with someone else? Why don't you collaborate with someone else? And you have to know that your idea, your passion, your vision, your dream, your mission, it can be hard to get out to explain to people, but you know it's something that needs to materialize and to happen. So you go to the trenches and you start doing the work. You do it not knowing what tomorrow's going to look like. You do it not knowing how you're going to finance it. You are very intentional and you start to do the work.
Did you find that there was an agency out there like the SBA that helped you, like, okay, now Andrew, you've had this idea, now you've got to put it onto paper. You've got to create a business plan. You know, you've got to look at these logistics. Did anybody help you with that portion? How did you figure that out?
So we're still figuring it out. Our biggest help, again, selfless, shameless plug and shout out to Allie. Allie has been amazing, has been so patient with us. Her brand and her organization, Victor and Valor, have been super helpful. And a lot of it is just being in those rooms. So there was several people like SBA helping. There were the Bunker Labs that helped. There was the George W. Bush Veteran Leadership Program that helped. There were experiences and people you run into at the Military Influencers Conference. All of those experiences together, if you're taking notes and you're being intentional, you're going to grab nuggets and you're going to come back and polish up your project and make it better.
So at what point in your project, where are you?
So right now we're live, we're active, we're launched. We're a full out brand. We're very intentional about building it so that we don't overload ourselves. We're very intentional about putting policies and things in place. We're constantly refining what works for us and what doesn't work. Once upon a time, the goal was we were going to help all these people. And once they heard that they qualify for benefits or entitlements, they were just going to be clamoring to advocate for themselves. And what we've learned is that everyone's popcorn pops differently. So there have been guys and girls that we work with who within a week have gotten the assignments done and we're on to the races to get them their benefits and entitlements. Then there have been guys and girls that have reached out to us 2-3 years later to say, hey, I'm finally ready to go.
What's happened in those 2-3 years? Is it just the mindset has just been kind of like, ugh, can't, you know, because I can't imagine anybody not wanting the benefits.
Correct.
So what's happening in that time frame where they're not coming forward?
So we're having to change the stigma. Well, there's a stigma around disability benefits. There's a stigma around being a disabled veteran. There's a stigma around going and showing that while once upon a time I was XYZ initial special forces tactical group, now I'm on the civilian side and I'm struggling because I've never struggled before. And so what's super impactful is that we figuratively are standing next to you and we're sort of looking in that closet or that room that you have all this stuff stored in. And while I make no claim that we're not a licensed therapist, counselor, or anything like that, we legitimately are battle buddies. So we can stand next to you and say, hey, what is over there? What's under that sheet? And we just talk about it a little bit. And now we're able to then say, based off of your experiences, let's look at what regulations say. So again, we're cutting out rumors and myths and all those things. Regulations say these are symptoms of XYZ disorder. And we allow you to then advocate for yourself so that you can go see this person and not feel unprepared.
Yes. That is, a lot of veterans have explained that to me. They just don't want to go forward because, okay, I don't know what I'm getting into. And it's a lot of hassle.
It is.
It's a lot of time.
It is. And what's super, another vital part is the military is shifting a little bit. They're getting better about mental health and taking that stigma away. But for so long, many of our men and women had to suck it up. There was a stigma about going to sick call. Like if you were on profile, you were kind of made fun of. You wanted to be the tough guy, the tough girl. And so it's getting through those things to let people know it's okay. You're not in the military, and really helping them understand that these are benefits you are entitled to. You're not taking from anyone else. These are things that you signed up for when you signed this blank check to America to defend it against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. You were entitled to said benefits. And this is what we want you to understand. These are benefits, not sympathy.
Yes,
anything.
yes. Now, don't you think that the message of these things being available to the service member should start at the beginning? You want to get these messages out, because have found and come across veterans that have said, okay, we went through our whole career, nobody spoke about retirement, nobody ever mentioned it to us, and then there it was.
Right.
And now it's information through a fire hose.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're overwhelmed, and you don't know which way to go, and then you've got a family, you've got a spouse, what's happening with the retirement. So wouldn't it make sense to start putting that message out earlier, because everybody leaves at a different time frame as well?
Yes, ma'am. So what's really neat about what we're doing is by working with the veterans, they're closer and closer to those guys and girls that are still serving.
Yeah.
So our goal is to create a tipping point so that you don't need us as a veteran service organization. You don't need any of these veteran service organizations. You are helping each other out. You know where to go to read the regulations. You know where to go to read the handbooks. And the sooner we can do that, then we can possibly take the stigma away from people wanting to serve in the military. Because for so long, people look at veterans and say, I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to allow my kid to be like that veteran. But again, the military and the Department of Veteran Affairs is one of the biggest and one of the only ones I know that will take care of you if you are injured working in that line of duty.
Let me go back to your active duty career for a moment. Do you feel, when you look back at your active duty career and your responsibilities during that time frame, and I mean, you obviously had you squared away parents, you're a squared away guy, and you go into the military and they square you away even more, right? How much of all of that, the being accountable, the regiment, the discipline, has helped you post-military?
It's been tremendous. Being in the military allowed me to fail publicly in a private setting. So it allowed me to try things that I didn't think I was capable of. It allowed me to push my body physically, mentally, and emotionally in ways that I wouldn't have done on the civilian side. And so now that I'm out of the military, when tough things happen, and again, this isn't super helpful, but someone's upset because of some conflict, or this is tough and hard, well, those people aren't shooting at me. So like once you've been shot at and people are actively trying to kill you, everything else is very minuscule in comparison.
Oh my gosh, I would say so. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay, everything else is cake.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I love the fact that you can go back to your military, training and how it's brought it into the civilian world. What about service members out there that are about to retire right now? What sound piece of advice do you want to give them?
Documentation is very important. You want to ensure that you're documenting all of your things. It's okay to go to sick call. It's okay to get a private doctor and document it that way. If you're afraid of something being leaked or something like that, go get a private doctor. Document your experiences so that later down the road, if they come back up, you're better prepared and you're not starting from square one.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is your medical record is your responsibility,
Yes,
and you've
ma'am.
got to make sure your shit's squared away in it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I have come across some guys as well who didn't go back and check, and then at the end when they're getting their VA rating, it doesn't add up
Correct.
at all. I think that is great advice, because again, as you go along, you're not told, hey, remember, keep that squared away. Hey, check that shit. You know what I mean? They just plod along and then they get to the end. How do people get in touch with you?
So we are on social media. We have an Instagram page. It is A New Veteran. We have a LinkedIn page called A New Veteran. And we're slowly, again, creeping out into other entities.
Okay.
Again, our goal is to stay small, sort of boutique-ish for now, because we want to create that tipping point, and we're very intentional about it. So again, we're out there.
And now I got to mention, earlier on we had this conversation about you had put the business name onto a golf What did you call it?
So it is a golf ball launcher.
Okay, golf
Yes,
ball
ma'am.
launcher.
So to get word out, to kind of help people understand what we're doing and to not just make sad stories, but happy stories.
Yeah.
Like guys and girls like to shoot stuff and blow stuff up. So we have a really neat golf ball launcher that we take to different golf tournaments and entities, and we let people just fire it down the fairway.
I love that.
So
I love that because I want to try that.
yes.
It sounds really good and it looks awesome. I want to ask you about family
Yes, ma'am.
post retirement. Post, retirement. When you integrated back in, did you have challenges?
Oh, several. I struggled again because no one assumed that a young black man was a veteran, and the way some of the struggles we have in society. So I didn't want to be the angry black man. I did not want to be the angry veteran. And oh my gosh, don't be both. The angry black veteran, that's just super scary. So there was several challenges. So what I did was I kind of hid in that. And I would go around children and youth because they don't ask you, hey, you're a military? That's cool. Watch me do my flip. That's what they want to know. They're not saying, well, how many people did you kill? They're not saying, hey, how many times were you deployed? Or, hey, what's it like when this splatter happens or that? And then if you answer their questions, a lot of times they're taken aback that you answered it, but I'm taken aback that you would even ask me that. Like, it's very trying thing. So it was a challenge to get around that. Definitely was heavily medicated at certain points, and no disrespect to the medical profession, but they truly are practicing medicine because you would have to be on this med for 2 to 3 weeks, and then are you better or are you not, and you don't even know what normal
You're like
is
a
anymore.
guinea pig.
Yeah, you're very much a guinea pig.
Yeah.
So it's really, really frustrating. So I'm very thankful, grateful, fortunate that I had really good friends that I could lean into, and that social medicine is what did it for me.
I love the fact you were around kids. I've not heard that and nobody else has mentioned that, and I think to myself, that's fantastic. Your perspective, they just want you to watch them flip kind of thing. I love, that takes a lot of pressure
Yes, ma'am.
away.
And it also helps that they're kind of built-in filters. Most of us aren't going to be cussing, aren't going to say a lot of wild and crazy stuff around kids and young people. So it just is really therapeutic in that respectful way to be around your friends and family and their little people. And again, it's not about the craziness. It's, watch me do this flip or watch me try this dance move. It's super fun.
What do you think the next 5 years? What are your plans? Where do you plan to be?
Oh my gosh, next 5 years. I definitely want to pay it forward, all the people that have invested in us. From, again, I can't thank Ali enough and Victor Valor brand. They have been tremendous. And I do not forget those little winks from friends and family, from judges who I can't tell you their names, that can't support things outright, but would throw money and say, here's $100, here's a couple $100. I see the work you're doing. Take this and keep it up.
That's awesome. I love that. I love the fact that, like you said, sometimes to support your business financially, you got to borrow, or, so-and-so gives you some money. But I love the fact that those small amounts do matter, because I find a lot of people want to go and get 10 grand.
Right.
Well, okay, listen, you ain't going to get 10 grand, dude. Okay, let's be real about it. Go get 500 here and 500 there.
Right.
I want, Andrew, there was a reason that we met in Austin. Again, that was, I know Ali Craig is saying you should have read, been on Slack and reading all the list. But I'm glad you were there. It was a nice surprise for me because I hear about you through LinkedIn, all the time. In fact, I actually thought I met you at some point. You know what I mean?
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Yeah. But then I look back at all your LinkedIn posts and you're right on the mark with them, and you're getting the word out. So I think that's absolutely fantastic. Listen, I want you to tell people where they can get in touch with you, your social media, and how they can help.
Yeah, so again, LinkedIn is probably the best one for now. If you want to follow some of our social stuff that's kind of lighthearted, we don't go too heavy, too deep, is on Instagram.
Okay.
And we're slowly exploring other channels and those things. But truly, I want people to know that they matter.
Yeah.
And if I could really say this, if you've tried for benefits before,
Yeah.
believe it or not, when you apply for benefits, if you're denied, the VA has to tell you why you are denied.
Oh, I did not know that.
You have permission. If they
Yeah.
say you are denied because of XYZ, they're going to reference a code of federal regulations.
Okay.
Go read the code.
Yeah.
There are guys and girls on the other side that are having a bad day. And maybe this Navy guy, this Navy SEAL, took his girlfriend. And so you never know. And your thing is denied just off the basis of you being a Navy SEAL. Whereas everyone else is kissing your butt or thanking you for your service. This person is like, no, I hate Navy SEALs. You're denied. The VA is an amazing organization that's ran by humans who are fallible.
Yeah.
And so definitely look into it, appeal your stuff, be intentional. Do not assume anyone knows what it means to be a veteran. Do not assume anyone knows your trauma. I share this with people we work with. Think about those older 80s and 90s romance novels. They were very intentional. It wasn't the new 50 Shades of Grey. They were like, he slowly touched her knuckle and her body just exploded. Like,
So glad you said knuckle.
so, but my point is, like, it's those things that you're like, oh, he touched her knuckle and did all that. That's crazy. Well, share that with your experiences. Like, no one understands that you were airborne and your legs hurt. And the first 5 minutes of your day is thinking, I really want to go play with my kids, but I can't pick them up.
Yeah.
Like, I have this hernia and it limits the intimacy I can have with my partner. And they think I don't want them. I do. I'm in so much pain. And now, because of my physical limitations that no one can see, because I'm plus size, because of whatever, I struggle to find work or have a meaningful life. Because I have these mental unseen damages, I struggle in social settings. So it's not that I don't want to be there. It's just that I'm struggling. And it's nothing you've done. It's just things I have to work on.
Somebody said to me once, it's not that I don't want to be there. I just can't be there 100%. Okay, call to action.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we want people to go to your website name.
It is anewveteran.org, all one word.
And your Instagram handle.
It is a new veteran, all one word.
Okay, listen, it's been a pleasure for me to have you on the show today. That's a lot of information you've given out. And I hope people go to it. Listen, people, go to it. Because again, it's the same old thing, isn't it? It's like the information is there, but people are just stuck on I just got to reach for it. I just got to get it kind of deal,
Yeah.
Andrew, what you do is amazing. I want to thank you for your service.
Well, I appreciate it. And I want to add this last little tidbit. So there are some really decent veteran service organizations out there. There's some really crummy ones out there. Our goal and what we're doing and our services are at no cost to the veteran. So at no point would you ever give us any of your back pay. Would you make a initial payment? We don't want your money. We just want to educate you. So, and with that being said, we're not going to do the work for you. So we're going to encourage you to write your lay statement. We want you to tell your story. We're not going to do it. And no one knows your story better than you. And the reason that is important is I'm just now meeting you for the first time. I don't want to tell you all my deep, dark, ugly stuff, or I might forget something. But if I've taken the time to write a 12, 20-page paper that goes into those details about touching that knuckle, then you can't deny that I share with you my pains, my hurts, my traumas.
It makes perfect sense to me. Andrew, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much. This is amazing.
You have been watching The Goode Show. My name's Surinder, and I'm out.
Thanks for tuning in to The Goode Show. I hope you have been inspired by today's conversation. If you loved what you heard, help us spread the word. Follow me on Instagram @The Goode Show. As military spouses, we all have stories to share, experiences, resources, and support. I want to hear your story and highlight your business. Let's connect, DM me, or visit surindergoode.com to share your journey. Until next time, take care, stay inspired, and keep doing good things.